It was a night like any other when Mark returned to his suburban home, but the silence felt heavier than usual. The air inside was cold, and every step he took seemed to echo through the empty hallways, mocking his solitude. As he tossed his keys onto the counter, he stopped. Something felt fundamentally wrong, though he couldn't say what. The dining chair was pulled away from the table, just a few inches from where he'd left it this morning. Mark shrugged it off, dismissing it as fatigue. But then, a faint, rhythmic creak came from the floorboards directly above him. He began his nightly routine, yet the feeling of being watched prickled at the back of his neck, cold and unrelenting. In the corner of the bathroom, he froze. There, on the pristine white tile, was a single, wet footprint. It wasn't his size, and it was still fresh. His heart began to hammer a frantic rhythm against his ribs. He checked the kitchen. The back door was locked, but the air felt thin, charged with a hidden, malevolent presence. Every shadow in the corner of his eye seemed to move, morphing into a figure that vanished the moment he turned. A sudden, sharp thud echoed from the attic. There was no mistaking it this time. Someone was definitely up there. Gripping a flashlight, Mark climbed the stairs, the narrow beam of light cutting through the thick, oppressive darkness of the upper floor. The attic was a labyrinth of boxers and forgotten memories. But near the crawlspace, he found something horrifyingly new. Discarded food wrappers and a makeshift bed of old, stained blankets lay hidden behind a tall stack of crates. The realization hit him like a physical blow. Someone had been living here, just inches away, while he slept downstairs. Then, he heard it. The sound of a heavy, steady breath right behind him. Hispoon, Harun light dancing wildly. A silhouette moved at the end of the dark hallway below. A tall, lean figure wearing a dark hoodie stood watching. It was a desperate race through the dark house as the intruder followed with a chilling, silent efficiency. He reached the front door, fingers fumbling with the lock as the hooded figure drew closer and closer. He burst into the night, lunging into his car and locking the doors just as a pale hand hit the glass. As the sirens began to wail in the distance, Mark looked back at his second-story window one last time. The curtain twitched. For a brief second, he saw the stranger watching him, a silent sentinel in the house that was no longer his. The police arrived, but the house felt forever tainted. The safety he once knew was gone, replaced by a lingering, cold dread.